Outgoing NCBA President Jerry Bohn spent the past year representing cattlemen and women all around the country. This convention offers us a chance to say thank you for a great year of service to the beef industry. Early last year, we took a closer look at what life is like for Jerry back home in Kansas.
Pratt Feeders in central Kansas is a place and a business Jerry Bohn knows well. A Kansas native, Jerry started his career as an assistant feed yard manager and then moved to Colorado to work with Cattle Facts for 7 years before moving back to manage this feed yard.
Came here in 1982, August of 1982, and as a feed yard manager. When I got here, we had about 15,000 cattle on feed, and over the years, we were able to grow this facility to where it holds about 40,000 today. And then in 1989, we bought Ashland Feeders at Ashland, Kansas. In 1995, we bought Buffalo Feeders, Buffalo, Oklahoma. We currently have the 3 main feed yards with a total capacity of about 85 to 90,000 head. The focus here at Pratt Feeders for the most part has been to be a custom feed yard where we feed cattle for other people. Today, about 75 to 80% of the cattle on feed here are owned by rancher customers from various states around the country. And we focus really hard on being customer oriented. We've gone to an individual animal management system where every animal is managed to its ideal endpoint. And I think customers benefit from that, and profitability is improved because of that process.
While the cattle are impressive, the feed yard facility itself is too. It's unique because it was built on the site of a decommissioned World War II Army airfield.
During the war, the government built this air base, and the B-29 crews were trained here before they went overseas to the war. And right where I'm standing right now is the middle of one of the runways. This one's about 1.5 miles long from the east, or from the west to the east, and we have cattle alleys on both sides of this runway, and it's worked out quite well for our operation.
Though Jerry is retired from day-to-day management here, he is a part owner of Pratt Feeders and remains on the board. He owns cattle and continues to manage farm ground the company operates. He's proud of how Pratt Feeders has grown, and even more proud of how the beef industry has improved over the years.
I think the industry's done a very fantastic job of genetic improvement. When I started my career here, if we had a 50 or 55% choice in prime grade, we were really excited about it. Today, the industry's averaging on top of 80% choice. Carcass weights have probably gone from 600 to 700 pound average to more like 800 to 900 or maybe even 1,000 pound average.
A past president of the Kansas Livestock Association, Jerry has served in a variety of NCBA leadership roles. And as he takes the reins as the 2021 president of NCBA, he sees both challenges and opportunities for the beef cattle industry.
I think some of the opportunities that we see as we look forward here into 2021 and beyond is certainly beef demand has jumped up here. That's been a shining star even during the COVID pandemic. I think people are spending more time at home. They're learning to cook beef again. The beef product and quality is the best it's ever been. So I think that's certainly an opportunity. We think also the opportunity to grow our export market. I think even though the Chinese and us have some road bumps, their demand for high quality beef is going to grow. Certainly that's an opportunity as we go forward. I think some other issues that we're going to have to work on is sustainability and the consumer's concern about how animals are raised, animal welfare, the environmental impact that our beef industry has on the environment. I think the fact that the beef animal is an upcycler, that we take grass and rough feed and the majority of the life is spent eating products that are not edible by people and turning it into high quality protein will certainly be at the forefront.
Though he prefers to spend his time around pens of cattle, Jerry knows it's critical for cattlemen and women to have a strong voice working on their behalf in Washington, D.C.
NCBA has a lobbying team in Washington, D.C. that works every day interacting with government officials, senators, congressmen, and their staff to establish positive regulations and positive business environment for the beef industry. And so while we're out here feeding cattle and taking care of them and farming and doing all the things that it does to support these animals that we care for, We have a team in Washington that's working on our behalf, making certain that government regulation and laws that get passed will not hamper our industry, and then hopefully will pass laws that are beneficial to us. For instance, opening up more export markets around the world will certainly be a beneficial thing that can happen there.
Building unity is a priority for Jerry, who wants to see state cattle organizations and NCBA pull together to create more opportunity for producers in all sectors of the American beef cattle business.
The state associations in the beef industry are, obviously they're a very important partner to NCBA, but that's where the rubber meets the road. They're the ones that are in contact with the individual cattlemen on a daily basis. And it's important to NCBA that we develop a very strong, positive relationship with every state affiliate, and I know that's one of the goals that we have going forward is looking at those relationships and how we can forge an even stronger bond between the state and national organizations as we work to protect the industry from government regulation, as we grow our positive impact on the environment. NCBA is working on a daily basis for the benefit of every member, and in fact we're working on the benefit for those who have chosen not to join us too. And so as we talk about membership, first of all, being a member of NCBA is important. Without that membership we can't do the work that we do. The local member is vastly important to us, and so we spend a lot of time working to help them be profitable and successful, and in turn, if they do that, we're going to be successful as a national organization. I am very excited to have the opportunity to be the president of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. I consider it kind of a crowning event for my career in the business.
And joining us now to talk about his year as president is Jerry Bohn. Jerry, first of all, thank you for all your good work this year. And secondly, you've navigated some pretty challenging waters during this past year. What are you most proud of?
Well, obviously, getting the industry back on track after all the challenges that COVID presented to us. We started the year kind of slow. Cattle market was still pretty sorry the first part of the year. But as we've worked through, and particularly here the last quarter, fed cattle prices have rallied considerably, and so I think people can feel good that we ended 2021 on a positive note. Fed cattle were higher, feeder cattle and calves were higher, and we're headed in the right direction again, I think.
That's good to know. You had an opportunity during your year to talk to lots of different people from all the segments of the industry, all across the country. What are some of the things you learned?
There's good people involved in our industry. They want to succeed. They want to make a positive contribution to our economy and to our environment. But they got to be able to make a profit, and so that's been the focus. The vision of NCBA is to be the trusted leader and the definitive voice for the beef and cattle industry, and so that's what we're really about. And I think we accomplished some things this year. Besides getting more negotiated trade done in the fed cattle market, we were able to prevent some tax consequences that would have been harmful to agriculture. We also were able to get a set of sustainability goals in place for the industry to strive toward, and so I think getting that message out, and it's been pretty well accepted. We were really tickled with the acceptance of that sustainability program that we've put out in Nashville.
So look ahead for a moment. As you look forward to 2022, what are some of the biggest opportunities for the beef cattle industry?
Well, I think first of all, beef demand is really good. It's record good. In fact, probably the best it's been in 30 years or better, both domestically and around the world. And I think too, as we go through the year, we're going to get our leverage back to the producers. The supply of fed cattle versus the packing plant capacity is going to get more in line. And you have to kind of maybe be a little bit nervous about the drought that's still around in the country and how that might impact us going forward, as well as some of these political things. This potential deal going on in the Ukraine and Russia could cause us some problems, and you never know about another black swan event. Heaven forbid. We've had more than our share of those for the past 2 or 3 years.
Right. So we're ready for a great week here in Houston. What are you looking forward to, and what message do you have to those who may be watching at home?
Well, I would sure tell everybody that we're going to get quite a bit accomplished here this week. We're going to work on checkoff activities as they prepare for a new year of getting authorization requests and getting ideas in place for how the checkoff can help benefit beef producers. In the policy side, I think we're going to have, again, a pretty robust discussion in the Live Cattle Marketing Committee about marketing. Taxes and those kind of things are sure going to be discussed. So there's a lot going on. Come down and enjoy the warm weather if you're up in the North Country where it's cold. And those of you who live here in the Houston area, please come see us. There's still a chance to come in and register. But we're here and we're going to do business, but we're going to have a good time while we're here.
Fantastic. Jerry, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for all you've done for our industry. We do appreciate it.
Thank you much, Kevin. Thank you.